We choose Korea as a place to research about their culture, their famous foods and drinks, tourist spots, and tour package. So, Korea is a small peninsula located between China and Japan. As a result of the Allied victory in World War II in 1945, Korea was divided into two sovereign states with different political ideologies: the Republic of Korea to the south and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to the north. This ended Japan's 35 years rule of Korea. Korean language. Hangul is the name of the Korean alphabet. Although the spelling, alphabet, and vocabulary differ slightly between the two countries, Korean is the official language of both South Korea and North Korea. Linguists believe the Korean language is a member of the Altaic family of languages which originated in Northern Asia. There are 5 major dialects in South Korea and one in North Korea. Despite differences in the dialects, speakers from different areas can understand each other. The Korean alphabet is easy to learn, and Korean enjoys one of the highest literacy rates in the world. Korean culture. Despite the political unrest that resulted in the division of the region, these two countries still share the same culture and traditional values. Korean is divided by boundaries but still united by culture. Korean is greatly influenced by the Chinese and Japanese culture. This influence can be seen by Confucianism, which established many traditions can be seen in modern Korea today. These traditions include the ethical code of conduct in social life and showing respect to the elders and family. Koreans also believe in sincerity and loyalty and follow certain codes of conduct while meeting, eating, praying, and even celebrating. At times when many others' culture would shake hands, Koreans bow. They bow as a sign of gratitude and respect to the person they are meeting. Family structure. Family is the most important part of Korea's society, and the father is the leader of the family. They also believe in a hierarchy structure, and children help their parents and must obey them and show respect to the elders. As Confucius teachings have a deep influence on Koreans' life, they believe in duty, loyalty, honor, and sincerity. That's why children live with their parents after they become adult, as they believe it is their duty to take care of their parents. Korean religion. Confucianism, Buddhism, and Christianity are the main religions. Buddhism is the religion in Korea with the most followers, and its teaching have a great impact on Korean lifestyle, culture, and art. Yeongdong is a main symbol of Korean Buddhism and can be found in all temples and religious places in Korea. The division of Korea has also caused a divergence in religious life in two countries due to the different political structures. South Korea has been characterized by a rise of Christianity and Buddhism, while North Korea is considered a secular state. Celebrations. Festivals have a great importance in Korean life. Korean festivals are full of life, color, and joy, and they are celebrated throughout the year. Most celebrations and festivals are related to harvest and family. The Korean society depends on farming, so many of their celebrations focus on events to pray for a good harvest. These events have gradually turned into popular celebrations and festivals held regularly in Korea, like the Hanshi, Good Food Festivals celebration, which mark the beginning of the farming season. Hanshi is celebrated 105 days after Dongji winter solstice. Korean meal. Korean cuisine is largely based on rice, noodles, vegetables, and meat. Some of the famous Korean dishes include bibimbap, bulgogi, and dakgolbi. The Korean culture is based on politeness and respect, and this is clearly evident in Korean table manners. So, here are some Korean manners for sharing meals with others. First, older people should sit down first at the table. Second, I guess say "Jal myongkisomnida," which means I will enjoy the meal as a sign of respect to the host. Third, eat at the same pace of other people sitting at the table. And large, and lastly, chew your food with your mouth closed and do not make noises while chewing it. So that's all.
What to eat and drink in South Korea? I am Kenny Jima Bugnon. I am going to talk about the most popular food and drinks in Korea. Great Korean food can be found virtually everywhere in vibrant Seoul, from street vendors along narrow alleyways to classic restaurants within five-star hotels. So there are 10 great Korean dishes that you must try. First is the kimchi. This signature Korean dish that consists of Korean cabbage, radish, pumpkin, onion, ginger, and scallion with chili powder, crushed garlic, and salted seafood, which is then left to ferment. Second is the bibimbap. Another must-try during your visit to Seoul is bibimbap, a filling and nutritious dish that's widely available in restaurants, food courts, and street markets. The third one is the red rice cakes or the tteokbokki. Tteokbokki is a traditional Korean street food distinguished by its bright red-orange in symbol. This popular snack is usually sold at street vendors and independent snack bars. Fourth is the bulgogi. Bulgogi consists of thin slices of marinated beef sirloin that are cooked alongside sliced onions, green peppers, and garlic using a charcoal burner, resulting in a distinctive smoky flavor. Fifth is the Korean stew or the jjigae. There are many different varieties of jjigae in Seoul, but this Korean stew usually contains meat, seafood, or vegetables in a broth seasoned with hot pepper paste, fermented miso, soybean paste, or salted fermented shrimp. Sixth is the jjajangmyeon, a Korean Chinese fusion dish. Jjajangmyeon uses thick handmade wet noodles topped with raw cucumber slices and a mixture of salty black soybean paste, diced pork, and vegetables. It usually eaten by singles on Black Day, which takes place each year on April 14th. Those who do not receive gifts during Valentine's Day wear black attire and gather to consume black-colored food such as jjajangmyeon. 7 is the samgyeopsal, a popular dish among young working adults in Seoul. Samgyeopsal is usually paired with a shot of two of soju liqueur. 8 is the Korean fried chicken. Korean fried chicken takes on the quintessential American fast food with its own unique flair. 9 is the spicy cold noodle or the bibimbap, symbolizing longevity of life and good health. The noodles are traditionally served without cutting, but diners can request for waiters to cut the noodles according to their preference. Number 10 is the ginseng chicken soup or the samgitang. Locals believe that the body's energy must be replenished during summer, so it is a common practice for them to consume a piping hot bowl of samgitang or chicken ginseng soup between the months of June and early September. So those are the top 10 popular foods in Korea. Next is the best Korean drinks, from banana milk to hangover juice. There are 20 drinks, but I only choose 6 common drinks which we only know. Number 1 is the banana milk. For many Koreans, banana milk conjures up memories of childhood, and if you try it, you'll understand why. It's simple, sugary, and totally addictive. Number 2 is the soju, Korea's national liqueur. It's also popular here in Philippines. Number 3 is the citron tea. The fruit itself looks like a large tangerine but has a tart flavor that places it more closely to grapefruit. Number 4 is the green plum tea. Koreans will often ferment the plums with sugar and make a batch of maple syrup, essentially a plum concentrate that they can store and use as a as a refreshing beverage in the summer or a tea in the winter. Of course, the longer you ferment it, the syrup can become alcoholic, known as mildew. Number 5 is the corn tea. Corn tea can be made with a dried corn silk or dried and roasted corn kernels or a combination thereof. Number 6 is the barley tea. Koreans tend to drink this year-round as both a cool, rejuvenating tonic and a warm, soothing tea. That's all for the popular food and drinks in Korea.
So, why Korea is considered a tourist destination? So here is the reason why Korea is considered a tourist destination. Korea offers everything a traveler could want in a destination. It has a long and fascinating history, a wonderful culture, amazing food, friendly people, and an excellent tourism infrastructure. It also a country of contrast with tourist attractions ranging from ancient mountaintop Buddhist temples like Bulguksa to the ultra-modern skyscrapers of Seoul like the Lot World Tower. It also has one of the most unique attractions in the world that can be visited in no man's land, part of a military border between two countries, technically still at war. So, thank you.
The tour package that I want to recommend to the tourists is The Hidden Treasure of Korea. Minimum of 2 people, and it includes accommodation and hotel breakfast, transportation by minivan, a vehicle with English-speaking guides, and admission fees, lunch for 4 days, parking and tools. And also it excludes tips and gratuities, personal expenses, and optional activity costs.
The tour package that I want to recommend to the tourist is In-Depth Korea Tour All of Korea Tour. Minimum of 2 people, which consists of multiple cities that are Andong, Gyeongju, Busan, Donggyeong, Sancheon, Damyang, and Jeonju.
True that Korea isn't the cheapest city in Asia. However, the Korean capital isn't a destination that is going to break the bank either. There are many ways to visit Seoul on a budget if you know where to look. So today I'm going to share a few budget-friendly tips to help you enjoy the city without restricting yourself in terms of the things you get to experience. Because if you come all the way to Seoul, you may as well enjoy your time. So the first way to do Seoul on a budget is by choosing your accommodations wisely, and thankfully, there are plenty of cheap accommodations in the city. I'm going to list a few different types of accommodation, starting with the most basic and then slowly working my way up in price, but also make sure to check out this handy Seoul neighborhood guide to help you decide what's the best area for your visit. So first is Jinjimbang. Jimjilbang is technically a spa, a bathhouse, but this shouldn't stop you from spending the night here. In fact, Jimjilbangs have sleeping areas where you can either sleep in a communal room or you can crawl into one of the individual cubby holes and sleep in your own little cave. So that's all.
We got history, got me